Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Inside Career Technical Education. I'm Ann Baldwin, one of the hosts of this program.
And I'm Jim Bologa, President and CEO of YTI Career Institute.
You know, we've talked a lot about on these podcasts, and I'm excited about this one as well, about the career opportunities for many of your folks who are currently enrolled at YTI Career Institute. And there's just so many opportunities and so many businesses that are so eager to get their hands on these students because of the way that they're trained, their attitude, their aptitude, and all those things. And here today to speak with us about that is Rich Hoak, and he's with Remco in York, Pennsylvania. Rich, welcome to the program.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for the invite.
No, we're very excited to hear all about Remco and Rich. Rich, why don't you take a few minutes and maybe just share a little bit about your experience, and then maybe talk a little bit about what Remco does.
At Remco, we're pretty much a commercial contractor. We don't get into the residential side, but we have a strong favoritism toward the supermarket side of the business. So we do supermarket refrigeration. We also get involved in some of the convenience store work, and then also industrial refrigeration and warehousing and so forth. And also our techs would get involved with some of the smaller self-contained equipment out there that also goes along with the refrigeration business. In addition to refrigeration, we also are in the food service business where we do the hot end of the business. We have a full electrical department, service and installation. We also have a plumbing department, which does the service and installation. And we also have an EMS department, which is our energy management group, which installs all our controllers to control a lot of our refrigeration equipment. Right, and then in closing, we also have our building services department, which is our carpenters that do the carpentry repairs out in our facilities for us. So that pretty much sums up our departments within Remco.
Yeah, no, it's impressive that you guys provide really a full service approach to your business in terms of the skilled trades. I mean, ranging from refrigeration to HVAC to plumbing to electrical to electronics, and sort of spending time in building services and energy management. I mean, it's really it's actually pretty cool to hear all the different services that you guys bring to bear, in the greater York community.
Well, and I've been in many, up in York. I've been in your industry modeled labs, Jim, and it is very impressive. And it's HVACR now for refrigeration, right? HVAC, and then you add the R at the end. But it really is impressive how you've got those industry model labs with the hands-on students really working on things that once these folks maybe go to a company like Remco, they know what they're doing. And that's got to be half of the beauty of bringing these students into your workplace, Rich, over at Remco.
Sure is. We should certainly appreciate the students and their training that's coming out of YTI. We think they're getting the basics to get their feet wet in the business.
It's really a great relationship in having a partner like a Remco in the community where we can get our students to go through the lecture online, the hands-on training on ground in our industry modeled labs, and then having an employer like Remco who has demand for the skilled labor that's going to be used in the marketplace. Rich, maybe you could talk just a little bit about what you're seeing in the marketplace around maybe HVAC, if you will, and again, for those folks who don't know what HVAC is, again, it's heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. And it's amazing to me how now in this post-COVID world that we live in, how important air quality is. As we're in homes or we're in airplanes, things like that. The air quality is everybody's now super focused on that. So maybe just talk a little bit about Rich, what you see for the industry, and then I'm going to have a follow-up question regarding any prospective students or even existing students in terms of just what you're looking for in a future employee. So maybe talk a little bit about the industry, and then we'll talk about the future employee.
Well, as far as trends go that we see going on out there, speaking on the HVAC side, we see trends toward the HEPA filters and UV lights due to the coronavirus. So that's one trend that we're seeing, and actually working with our customers on upgrading some of their HVAC equipment, with those HEPA filters and the UV lights due to the coronavirus. The other thing on the refrigeration side, as far as trends go, in the new self-contained refrigeration units, they're going to R290, which is a propane refrigerant, and also we see the R600A is an isobutane refrigerant, these are all new refrigerants out there, and that's all out there because of global warming. And our techs, they'll have to be trained up on that and know how to work on those systems. On the larger scale refrigeration rack systems we see in the supermarkets, we see a lot of our customers going to refrigerant R744, which is a CO2 refrigerant, and that's refrigerant of choice basically because of global warming. That's what's driving that. So that's a natural a natural refrigerant that we're seeing out there.
Right. And Rich, you point to a very important point in that things are always changing. And so with these externships or with these jobs that you offer these YTI Institute graduates or students, you keep them on top of the game, right? They continue to learn. They continue their certifications. They continue to move up in their career. So you take on that responsibility if they're the right fit.
That's correct. We work with our technician base to certify them on work on the new equipment that's coming out. And the other thing we do, we have Remco University. So basically, when we hire YTI graduates into our program, their training, never stops. So they're continually being trained by our in-house trainer on equipment we're working on, and obviously these new refrigerants and safety precautions and everything they need to know, basically, out there in the technician world to service this equipment, so that they're safe out there and they're certified to be working on that type of equipment.
Yeah, that's really it's a testament to Remco, Rich. I mean, that's great that you guys have got your own internal training university, and I think the other thing that always just surprises me is that I think every aspect of our life continues to change. I mean, the only constant in our lives is change, and I think that there's so many different things going on, and the days of industries being relatively static really don't exist anymore. And an HVAC is one of those industries that's constantly changing. Whether it's trying to get more efficiency out of units, trying to have the units not only in power but also in output or emissions, and then using different materials that are more efficient and more effective in terms of greenhouse gases and those kinds of things. It's amazing to me how most folks just no one really sort of thinks about it when they go to flip the thermostat to call for cold air or hot air. Right. That all this stuff is going on behind the scenes, if you will. But with that being said, maybe talk a little bit about what you're looking for in terms of that future employee. So if I'm a prospective YTI student, looking to possibly go into HVAC, or if I'm an existing YTI student, in the program looking, for my first job, what are, say, three sort of qualities that you're looking for, in a future employee that you could impart upon, some of our listeners?
So one of the big things, we look at is as we're interviewing students from YTI to be hired on, we want to make sure that the student is willing to learn, wants to learn the business, and has willingness, to be able to pick up the business and wants to learn with us. That's very important. The other thing we push out, to our new hires is, to be passionate, to serve our customers. They're going to be wearing that Remco shirt, representing our company.
Yep.
We want to make sure they're passionate about their job and wanting to take care of the customers. So that's very important to us, as we get technicians out there that are working with our customers.
Right.
The other thing, that we really like to see is as we interview students coming out of YTIs, we like to see that they have their basic fundamental knowledges, know the basic refrigeration cycle, have their basics down. It's also, we like to see them that they have their EPA certification, coming out of the school, and so that kind of sets the footprint, to get them going, and that's the type of individuals we're kind of looking for to get into our company.
No, those are great. Those are great pointers for anybody looking to get into the HVAC industry, and anybody who's currently a student at YTI. I'm sure they'll appreciate that input. And so Rich, thanks for those pointers. I know part of that passionate customer service, I'm sure, and there are some dependability qualities as well in terms of showing up for work on time and looking the part. Obviously taking pride in wearing the Remco shirt and when you're out in the field. So I'm going to turn it back over to Ann, and we'll look at maybe wrapping this up.
Well, you make a good point, Jim, because Remco is such a known brand, and it's company reputation. And you put that shirt on with that logo on it, you're representing them, as you said. So along with that comes not only knowledge, but responsibility and those soft skills that you also pass along at YTI Career Institute. So Rich Hoak, who's the account specialist with Remco, another reminder that there's so many different departments within your company, whether it be refrigeration, HVAC, plumbing, electrical, food service, building service trades. So somebody might even go into a position and then transition to something else. I mean, that's the beauty of having such diversity within a company, is you can follow your passion once you're on the job and figure out what really, makes you tick. And I'm sure that's what you really encourage over there at Remco. And you're located in York, Pennsylvania, and we really want to thank you for taking the time out to inspire so many folks to talk about the HVAC career and how it's growing, expanding. And we really appreciate the partnership that you have with YTI Career Institute.
Well, we certainly appreciate YTI and what you guys do out there with the students, and we look forward to continuing to work with you guys and hiring more students on. And the HVACR business is a great business for the students to get into. There's just tons of opportunities for them. If they just want to apply themselves. That's the key ingredient there. Yeah,
and it's a trade. It's a skilled trade, and it's a lucrative career.
Well, and the last thing I would say is that, again, when we first got into the whole COVID, lockdown piece, a lot of the governors, that were out there were defining essential jobs, and HVAC technician, was one of those essential jobs. So, again, it's as Rich mentioned, and if you commented, and it really is it's a career that's essential to the operation of our economy, even during
our well-being,
even during a pandemic. So,
absolutely,
yeah.
Rich Hoak, thank you so much for your time. This has been a great conversation. We could talk about this all day long, but unfortunately we've run out of time. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate all of our listeners for tuning into this edition of Inside Career Technical Education.